Good evening and welcome to another episode of Did We Make Ourselves Clear, the podcast that clarifies the subject matters of love, life, and everything in between. Tonight we have a fantastic show, but if you're tuning in for the first time, please like us on our Facebook page and hit those notifications on our YouTube channel. Today, my cousin will be here to announce our new person that we're interviewing tonight.
Well, we got a crew up in here, actually.
That's right.
A real crew, you know what I'm saying? 3 deep today. And what I want to ask you a question. What happens when you mix funk, metal, and hip hop into a blender on the Midwest side? Well, we're going to find out tonight, man, as we interview the Midwest Avengers, the Headbanger hip hop crew with a massive catalog, faithful following, and an upcoming release party for their hot new single, Love on Fire. This is going to be banging, y'all. Welcome. So, did you want to introduce everyone, man? You know what I'm saying? So we get y'all names and everything, man. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all having us.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? I'm a fan of the show. You know what I'm saying?
Likewise, to you.
And shout out to all the cast that's been on the show so far that shouted my crew out. Appreciate y'all.
Right on.
Yeah, my name is so-and-so. I'm an MC from Midwest Avengers.
John Harrington. I'm an MC of Midwest Avengers.
Court with a K. I'm the vocal producer and newest member of the Midwest Avengers.
Zoe Prophet. I'm the drummer, Midwest Avengers.
Already. And I like the fact that they stated they was MCs.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. EMCEE. Yeah, we gonna move the crowd. That's right.
Because we control the crowd, you know what I'm saying? Master of ceremony.
That part.
There's a difference. You know what it's like as an MC, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Rather than just going on stage and rapping, like unlike the Dipset rapping over their tracks, we like to actually be heard.
Real talk. Y'all rocks it up. We don't rhyme for the sake of riddling.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Exactly, man.
So
I peeped that too, man. Y'all dope, man. I like that. Yeah.
So I guess my first question for each of you is, what kind of music did you grow up listening to?
Oh man, I grew up on hip hop. I mean, around the house growing up as a child, you know, you hear your parents playing all kinds of music.
Right.
You know, my mom, one of her favorite artists was
Foundation.
Baker, and
Foundation.
of course, you got Band and all that. But my father, I would travel back and forth across the country to California with my sister, listening to whatever he played. So that's Cool in the Game, Band.
That's right.
Like I said, Ohio Players, Isley, like all kinds of stuff. So we would hear that. I called it traveling music.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't tell you who the artists were.
I can't.
Right. Kids, so
Sweet melody.
Traveling.
Right.
But it's cool. And now I can appreciate it as I'm a little older, you know what I'm saying? It set my mind at ease. Otherwise, I was always on some hip hop.
Man, that's real. And likewise, though, bro. So tell me, how did the Midwest Avenger sound come about, though?
Well, I mean, I guess it's comprised of all our different tastes and what we came through listening to, you know, with music. So we clearly got the hip hop element in it, but even with John, you know, he listened to all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I mostly grew up listening to like punk rock, hardcore, metal.
What type of artist punk rock was?
Dead Presidents, Dead Press, or
any Clash?
Butthole Surfers, Clash. You know, Jane's Addiction. Mostly my main big groups was I would say Bad Brains, Fishbone, stuff like that. You know, black metal, black punk rock groups. You know, because it's good to be able to see somebody that looked like me doing that type of music, and it was rough growing up like that. At first, everybody like, why you listen to that white boy music? Oh no! Until I learned the history of
that's our music too, bro.
Chuck Berry and Will Richard and all that stuff coming right where we from. That was the people who invented that and started it. So that gave me a whole new burst of energy to get back out there and mosh in the pit. And you know, I grew up skateboarding, so. But you know, grew up with hip hop because this is my brother. So
that's right. Same
you know, like he was saying, our father played a lot of 70s funk, R&B, all that stuff like that. Our mom was real big into R&B and singers. Like our dad was really, really deep into like P-Funk, Parliament Funkadelic.
Man, that's the shit.
So I mean, a lot of people say you guys remind us of Parliament Funkadelic, and that's
Yeah.
possibly why,
I can see
because
that.
technically that was a black rock group back in the 70s.
Absolutely.
So
It's still hip hop. You ask me,
it's
man.
hip hop.
Punk is akin to hip hop.
I try to just call it black music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
real.
Because hip hop is kind of like just a mixture of all black music and stuff like that. Especially when it comes to sampling
Yes.
and looping and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I would say our sound is kind of just a reflection of who we are as a group of people or as a culture. You know what I mean? Because we do jazz, we do funk, we do R&B, we do soul, we do blues, we do punk, rock, hard rock, metal, rap, all that. It's just kind of we call it the Headbanger hip hop sound, but it's more just like kind of like the soundtrack to life. Really, it's just kind of like
real,
whatever. None of our songs sound exactly alike.
Yeah, a little
But
eclectic type of vibe.
Yeah, it's eclectic, so
Yeah,
it's kind of hard and weird. Like
Yes.
you know from us you're gonna get dope music. You just don't know what it's gonna sound like.
Right.
It's dope though.
You know?
The element of surprise,
Keep on
man.
my toes.
Yeah.
So what about you?
Yeah.
Man, again, like his mother, I grew up with Anita Baker,
Right.
Parliament Funkadelic. But personally, what I chose, man, I was listening to Busy Bone. Heaven's Movie was my favorite album.
Wow. That's interesting.
I was listening to a lot of blues actually, because of my grandfather did a lot of music with or did a lot of shows or anything with Miles Davis back in the day.
Wow.
So my mom would play that music. He's a poet from St. Louis, Quincy Troop, and I would listen to some blues. But my mom always had me singing like gospel and going around to different places and singing in different choirs around the city. So it was I was listening to Busy Bone, but then going to church.
Little Rip Stop.
We had to bring it all together.
He come back to Jesus. Okay.
What about you, Zoe?
I hate to be on the bandwagon and ride the train, but it's kind of the same era with the rest of my family here.
That's right.
I grew up listening to George Clinton,
Right.
Ohio Players,
All right.
Stevie Wonder, Prince, big Michael Jackson fan, loved everything, learned the Thriller dance and all.
That's right. I had to be the jacket.
Yeah. But I also listen to a lot of metal stuff too, like Megadeth and Slipknot. I go into crazy gospel stuff too, Kirk Franklin. Just a lot of
How'd you get in them
stuff.
sticks?
Alicia Keys. Start out in church just like probably every other black
Yeah.
young boy in
Hey, I can
America.
raise my hand for that, man. That's real.
I started out, playing when I was like 6. And,
Okay.
my uncle told my mom, she's like, this boy got a gift. He shouldn't be able to play at 6.
Wow.
And she took it serious from there and, sent me off to take lessons. And then I went into drum corps, bugle corps, and all that stuff, and went to band camp. At one time at band camp, that was me, but I wasn't a geek.
Yeah.
But
You bought that raw talent and got that fundamentals though, that theory of music.
Yes. So I know how to read music and everything.
See, that's what I'm talking
I play
about.
symphony stuff as well. So I do a lot of
Much
different
respect.
things.
Much respect, brother.
Well, tell us about the formative years of growing up in University City.
Yeah,
Missouri.
the you.
You
Yeah, the
know.
you. Everybody calls it.
I think you guys must be talking to me because
Yeah.
I was the only person that was old enough to enjoy it.
My mama.
Really?
He was a little kid when he was in the city. But I don't know if you guys ever heard this before because I travel a lot and I run to a lot of people all the time, and it's U-City people everywhere around the world. But I've also heard that U-City is the Harlem of St. Louis.
It is the
I
floss
know.
out guys.
And I guess that's a compliment
guys. Yeah.
because I've seen some really shady, weird places in Harlem. But
Me too.
no, it's just if you think about it, U-City was just very artful and had a lot of artists there and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys know Alexander Winter from Bill and Ted's and the Lost Boys and all that. I grew up skating with him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So U-City was just like, Charlie Chan and Dangerous D. I don't know if you remember them.
Charlie
like,
Soprano, baby.
that's what I'm saying. Like I had like some
when
real.
you stay on backer back in the day.
Yeah, I had some real heroes to look up to because at the time nobody wasn't touching Charlie. I don't know if anybody even touching Charlie now.
They not.
But you know what I'm saying? Charlie was
Shout out
cutting
Charlie.
and scratching and mixing and DJing, and it was an honor to try to fight to carry his
crates and stuff.
You know what I'm saying?
I did the same,
So,
man.
it was like the heyday. I don't know if you remember, but it was the heyday. Like the reason we sitting here as Midwest Avengers crew right now is because of the Golden Boys.
Man, I remember hearing about
y'all, man.
Calling the 24 scientists and all them guys, man.
All that stuff.
Back
calling
in the day,
on the radio,
and
doing what's your number one sign? Calling in on the roll call, and like that's how I got my start.
That's what's up.
Calling in roll call, like 85,
I used to be tuning in. I used to be
like,
tuning in. That's what made me want to rap.
I went to the movie theater on North and South and saw Crush Groove. Got a whooping. I got a whooping for skipping school to go see Purple Rain.
Apollonia, baby.
Had to see it. I just had to see it.
It's a rite of passage.
I knew who Prince was from listening to music from my dad and my mom, but I never seen him.
Prince was gangster.
And I was like, this is a black vampire pirate?
Yeah, he was gangster.
That's what
he was dark man. He was dark man.
On Purple Rain, so I had to go peep it out because I thought it was going to be about a black like vampire pirate. Yeah. But it changed my life too, like Crush Groove did. And as you know, like I said, U City is just very artistic.
It really is.
So many artists come out there. I think it's the perfect mixture of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it's like now because when you grow up in U City, you graduate to the South Side.
Yeah, I grew up in U City for a little while.
We lived over off Canton.
That's interesting what you just said. I never
it's
really tripped off there. You graduate to the South Side.
Graduate to the South Side.
Wow. Yeah, you get on 40 and dip out.
Yeah, I mean it's the same place. It's just bigger. You want bigger than that, you can check Atlanta.
Yeah,
makes sense, man. I'm just saying, like that's what it seems like the growth goes. You go to South Side, then Atlanta. If you're from U City, yeah, man, it's just a great place for art. The Loop area, all those people down there being diverse, having that mix of people. Even the schools. When I went in the '90s, late '80s, I went '88 to '91. It was like half and half black, half white. So it was like the perfect mixture. You know what I'm saying? You had a lacrosse club, and then you had
B-ball,
the B-boys, and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what it is.
That's real, man.
Very nice.
Let's take it back to when y'all Single Bounce started getting airplay on the Point radio station. What was that feeling like to hear that track playing live on the radio for the first time?
It was crazy for me because, of course, never heard it. Well, actually, I've heard the song on the radio before. I've heard our previous singles from our first album with the rap group. Even though this was the rap group, this was a remix for, which actually kind of got us in the idea of becoming a band,
right?
Or at least thinking about, the possibility. But yeah, it was just amazing. I mean, it was on the alternative station, 105.7 The Point.
Yeah.
And I didn't listen to the radio station.
Right.
I started too after that.
I bet.
I woke up that morning like, we on the radio. I'm like, word. I'm getting calls. You know what I'm saying? We went on social media back then.
Big time, right.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, every week we would get put in this thing called the cage match, where they match us against another band. But these would actually be bands or national acts that are signed.
What exposure?
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Gang of exposure, you know what I'm saying? So it was just good to be able to see that we can compete on a national level as a local band.
Wow.
You asked a local rap group that did a remix with the homies Mr. I. You know what I mean? And and the story on how that all came about anyway with how we got on the radio was crazy because John actually got called up out of his sleep. You know what I mean? Live on the radio.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
You know what I'm saying? You might as well tell them what the
story is.
The short version of it is we did the remix, and a buddy of mine had friends at the radio station, so he called up and was like playing a little slither of it, and my girlfriend at the time woke me up and was like, they talking about y'all on the radio. I think you need to wake up and listen to this. So I woke up and came downstairs. They was like, we need a copy of that song right now. So it put me put me in a bad position because we had just recorded the song. There was no CD yet. There was no CD to support. Well, I mean, it's more than that. It's that whole leaking stuff from the studio situation. So it's like on one hand, say, nah, we ain't got the CD ready. We can't sell no CDs behind this. Or how do you say no? How do you say no to a radio station that goes 100 miles radius and has 1 million listeners
on their most popular show?
On their most popular show. So I couldn't say no. I had to put my clothes on and go down there and play it. you know, and it shot to #1 immediately. As soon as we played, it shot to #1. I knew it was over. I knew it was over.
He made the key decision though.
I knew it was over when I went to the mall and it was playing in the mall.
Oh,
like you know when you walk in the mall,
man, that's the elevator music.
Then I was like, oh man, it's over.
We have arrived.
You know, what's crazy about it is like we originally wrote this song like as a throw together song. Like the homie had a version, he was recording a record album, and it was like a last minute beat the homie made. We all had like fast rap. Well, some of us had fast rap. Some of us didn't have any, so we kind of like wrote on the spot, just ragtag and put it together. Basically, just threw it together. We recorded it. It was only one hook, 2 hooks. One at the beginning, 6 8-bar verses, and then another hook, and that song was done.
Unconventional.
A dude from the Point took that song, basically, like you said, bootlegged it, threw it on the Point Essentials Volume 7 compilation CD. Then they like, you know, it was actually the first local rap group that they played on that station.
Oh wow!
Hey, y'all hear that, St. Louis? That's historical, man.
And then that song was on a compilation. It was with some really popular bands at the time. But then that's when they called asking for the remix. You know what I'm saying? Like the original version was doing so well. Like we need to get a remix. It was out there actually to turn it into a real like.
Well, give the people what they want.
Yeah,
got to get the people. Yeah,
I mean they like to us because at that time, you know, all the rock kids had heard Eminem and they was in the rap too. But it's like, you know, how do we expand this and grow it? We do a rock remix. You know what I mean? That's you know what I mean? And then that give them an extra reason to listen to it because now they can't deny it. You know what I mean? You don't got nobody like, oh man, turn that rap off.
No,
you know what I mean?
Some of your stuff too. Come on.
But see, I knew it was big. Like, that's we knew it was big. But when I knew it was big was when we had a show at Cicero's and a whole bunch of rappers was there.
Oh,
it was a sold out show at Cicero's. It was nothing but a whole bunch of kids from the county that listened to 105.7 The Point.
Man, that's what you want.
And then it was a bunch of rappers at the show. I was like, "You at the show?"
Wow.
Like Cassie ain't never came to our show before, and that's beautiful. Like you know how the competition is, and I was surprised. I was like, "Wow!"
They gave,
and that's why I was like, the power, like. Not necessarily the power, but
that is
the shift.
Say what it is.
What radio can do, like calling people, requesting, like real people being real fans and actually wanting to hear the song. Like you had to call up and request it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we just went ahead and was like, you know what, we gonna record these segments, you know what I mean, and just get it live. We took all these snippets off the radio where people called in, made their requests. And then we put it on a project on an album called Bounce that we split with the band.
That's how so that was real call-ins.
Yeah, real call-ins.
Right. Well, we got a sample of that. We're gonna play a snippet for those who haven't heard it yet. So come on.
Spin it. Man, that's turning off.
Yeah, there is.
We can't even tell what show that was.
They down to 27, not 27, 20 Food Bar, right?
Yeah.
On Halloween 5 years ago.
That was correct.
I mean, that version is probably like the 12th rendition of that version. Like we got like the original version, then the rock remix, then we got the ghetto box remix, which is like the rave. Like, you know, we got so many mixes in there, like the dubstep mix. But then throughout the years and throughout the new members that were playing the music with us, the music for Bounce kind of changed a little bit, but it's still the basic
framework.
Yeah, so I don't know what version that is, but it's bounce.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So how many versions of it did you all make in total, you know?
I mean, we got another version now.
Yeah.
We got a new.
We have about 5 different versions on record. That for purchase that you can buy, like that. But live at the show, it depends on who shows up.
That's real.
Because sometimes I think the longest bounce we did was like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We had like 30 MCs. Because what we do, we save it for the end of the show. So we say, "Yo,
That's
KP in the house, come on up and rock with us." And then you spit an 8 real quick, and then we keep extending it. Because what happens when you come up, then another rapper will be like, "Oh yeah, okay, it's okay to go up there," and they'll just keep growing. You know,
no lie. I be apologizing to the Zoe and them.
Yeah.
I know he be like,
he got to play it.
I'm already sweating, you know.
Right.
But see,
respect the DJ and the drummer.
Right.
But even now, though, we even got another version of it that is played differently. We recorded that version called "Bounce Forever," which I believe,
no pun intended.
Well, right. I think "Bounce Forever" is gonna be the last remix.
Okay.
Maybe. So that's on the year 25 album. So now when you see that live, the bounce is still.
I love it, man.
It's a remix, but it's the same song.
Yeah,
it's just different.
That good energy.
So real quick, over the last 29 years, Midwest Avengers have featured over 50 players.
Wow.
That's amazing. How has this impacted your musical direction?
It allows us to keep growing, and everyone has their own idea of what Midwest Avengers is to them. And I believe that kind of allows us to keep generating new ideas and new energy. And like, it just allows us to continue to grow and progress. Because without Zoe, we probably wouldn't be as musically advanced as we are today. You know what I'm saying? But also without John's vision, we probably wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
team.
Yeah, and I mean, it's been many people throughout the years, and although Courtney is the newest Avenger, she's already brought stuff to the table that already has helped shift the band into being even more appealing.
Man, this is a man's world, but it wouldn't be none without a woman.
What you say?
Say that. I think what it comes down to, the vision that I've always had is that you have to constantly change. No matter how bad you want something to stay the way it is, the only constant in life is change. And if you don't like Bruce Lee is like Bruce Lee always said be water. And that's what we are. That's what Midwest Avengers is, water. We realize and see and acknowledge the need for Courtney's experience and her quality, her experience and everything like that. Like, she's a vocal coach and a vocal arranger. At this point in our career, we need to be hitting the right notes. You know what I mean? So we also need, and this is another thing too. A lot of people forget that Midwest Avengers isn't just the 7 of us or the 5 of us. The group, we're a crew. It's like 150 of us behind us.
St. Louis Wu-Tang.
So you don't see the rest of the crew. What's up to the crew too, by the way? I'm
big shout out.
Watching out, but there's 150 like on and off members, or there's a solid 50 members, and to be honest, the women kind of the glue of it.
That's right.
So they've been needing a representation of a woman that's in the band, so they can have that represented, even when it comes as far down to the clothes. Because we wear t-shirts all day.
Come on with it, man.
But now she can come in there with dresses, blazers, whatever, tops,
spice it up,
whatever,
make y'all look more flyer. Because y'all kind of answer my next question for real, because that's the key to y'all diversity. It's just simply the different members and different backgrounds and energy, different discographies that y'all may have, individually, and y'all put that all together like a gumbo. And I love it, man. I love it. That's where hip hop really needs to go. That evolution part is key. It's key, bro.
It's true.
Definitely.
I mean, Zoe has seen the growth, like from us coming in as a straight rap group, and then him coming in. I mean, he can probably speak on it better than I can, but I also just noticed that he opened our eyes, or at least opened my eyes up to different sounds. Because like I'll be like, yeah, that's the beat. All right, cool. He'd be like, you know what? It needs some strings. Matter of fact, it needs some keys. Let me go on it.
Orchestrate, conceptualize.
Man, I'll be like, wow.
I got you.
Man.
Big bro.
How has change altered your listeners? You know, the people that are watching. How have they had any issues with the changes that you've created throughout the years?
I mean, I feel like our fan base keeps growing each time because we're doing something that people didn't think we could do. And so we're challenging ourselves to grow as individuals and as artists. As far as our musical background, like he said, we started out with just MCs and the DJ, you know what I'm saying? And we elevated that and went into a live band, and then we're hitting breakdowns and we're doing things that, you know, that kind of build the actual show.
Yeah.
It's not just performing, but actually building a show around the show.
That's right.
So, I think our fans are loving what we're doing. I mean, our true fans are going to stick with us no matter what. There's a lot of people out there that's, you know, you always got your haters out there.
Of course.
We need more haters though.
But we love that. Also,
haters.
you know, bad publicity is bad publicity is still good publicity. So, you know, but I think the more we change, everything around us is changing. So, and the problem with us is we kind of started the whole rap rock thing before it even was really popular. Out of the
stay with it.
You know,
that's real talk. Say that.
Stay with it.
Say that.
Like that's real
St.
shit.
Louis
You know what I'm
is
saying?
always
Sorry, mom, for cursing, but that's real shit.
it's
So,
real.
Hey, quick thing about the fans. Quick thing about the fans that I want to say and point out too is that we still have fans. It just happened to us the other night at Boomtown United. Great show, by the way.
Yeah,
where we were standing, this guy was standing next to it. He was like, "Oh my God, Midwest Avengers! I'm totally geeking out. I grew up listening to you guys since I was 7 years old.
Wow.
My mom used to have your CD from when she used to go to y'all shows back in the 90s. And I grew up. I was like, listen to this, nah, listen to this right here. But you know, if you look at it, this kid, his mom was playing our music when he was a kid, and he'd been listening to us when he was 7. He's standing next to me at the bar drinking now.
Oh, wow.
Geeking out, like I can't believe it, Midwest Avengers. So, you know, that kind of shows you the fandom and how far back it goes when you've been around 29 years.
Longevity, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Another thing too with that is there's members of the band who aren't even 29 yet.
Wow.
So they're playing in a band that's older than them.
So now y'all not the Wu-Tang of St.
You know
Louis,
what
y'all the
I'm
Grateful Dead of St. Louis.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Another quick thing to point out about the change and how we've changed is when Midwest Avengers originally started out, it was 3 white members and 3 black members.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now it's 2, it's like we're a quarter Latino. Our guitar players, Joe and Mason Carachachea, they're both of Latino descent. So it's a little different being a black and Latino group with a mostly Caucasian following. Because our like, to be honest, man, our following is still like 70% white.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with it. Love it. I love it. I mean, it's great. That's what we do. And most of our crew, to be honest, to be honest, most of our crew and the people that back us, you know, are white. And that's great because we've always been about diversity. We've always been about different cultures. We've always been about you know, getting along. Like we're not about tolerance. We're about understanding. You know what I mean? It's a little different. Like you gotta tolerate people. Like no, it's about understanding because we grew up in the streets as a family.
Right.
You know, when I struck off as a young man on my own, and my other brothers and friends and skaters did, we was a completely mixed group of men and women. So it's always Midwest from the start has always been a racially diverse group of people. So it's just strange being an all black and Latino band now. When that's the first time in the history of it that it's ever been like that.
Man, imagine y'all fans.
Well, see, what's weird about it is the people who are discovering us now think we're some sort of weird anomaly because they never seen a black rock band before.
Wow.
A black Latino rock band,
which exists.
Like a
mug. So I just wanted to point that
out. That's real, man.
Know.
So that's basically how y'all been pushing freedom, justice, and equality.
Yeah,
well, I mean that's part of
just being the change.
You have to. You can't be that diverse and not reflect it in your music and in your crew. Like you can't, and it's just how you got to do it.
And our crew, you know, we FCC, which is Freedom Culture Coalition. It don't matter where you from, how you grew up, your creed, whatever. You know what I mean? We're humans. And if you cool with us, we cool with you. If you know what I'm saying, we are family. You know what I'm saying? It's a brotherhood, it's a sisterhood, it's a family. It's all love. You know what I mean? And the older I get, I realize that it's important to show more love. Like, love is stronger than hate.
It's strong.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
You know how it is. You can get upset over something, but in the moment you like, you know what? I'm gonna let that pass. You good? I appreciate you. It changes so many things. You know what I mean? It turns that negative into a strong positive, which might end up being a beneficial relationship in the future. St. Louis ain't that big.
Man, no.
You know what I'm saying? I learned that the hard way and the good way.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, love is awesome though, man.
Well, I want to take this time to shout out the people that are in the room. We have about 10 to 11 people in the room. So thank y'all for coming and shining in y'all light with us and hanging out with us. So
shout out to the crew.
Right.
Yeah, so I want to ask you guys to tell us about your new single, Love on Fire, featuring Black Spade off the new album. I don't know how to say the new album, so I'm going to ask you. I don't want to butcher it.
Vengadores del Medio Oeste.
All right.
And before, when we wrote this single, we thought of people we wanted to work with.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And Zoe was the one who, he's the music coordinator. Like, even though the music had basically been written, he coordinated with whom he believed the vocals would fit. You know what I'm saying? We had an idea of who we wanted to work with, but Zoe made it happen.
You gotta trust him.
Right. Oh, always. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing is, when Court, with Court with a K, came and recorded this music with us, she wasn't in the band. She was an artist that we believed in, that we wanted to work with. She's also on another song on an album called Bounce Forever that we were talking about earlier, but that was the previous project. But now she's on this new single. So now she's on this single as an Avenger, as opposed to a featured artist like Black Spade is. A shout out to Spade. But Court, go ahead and give your rendition.
Yeah, for sure. Man, it was, of course, it was a blessing to be invited in the first place. And they are so organized to the point where they had everything already recorded. They had everything. He wrote most of the parts. So-and-so did all the parts. And so-and-so was like, Court, this is how I want you to sing it, but sing it like how you sing it, but I just kind of want it like this and do you. And they gave me my creative freedom to the point where I came in and Black Spade had already layered his part, the lower soulful part, because he's a beautiful soul singer. And so he had the melody, and I came in and I did about 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 more layers and ad-libs onto it and hit the hook. And it was so simple. And the energy was so good all the time. It was just very simple. It was done so quickly. And then when they gave it back to me, it was done. And I heard it, I was like, what?
You did exactly what I wanted. Like, when I heard it, I was like, that is it. Because I was looking for that new love song, like you said.
Zoe wrote the hook.
I did write the hook.
We normally write the hook, but
that's what's up, man. So that's a special piece.
I wanted to give him his props.
Okay,
I appreciate that.
I'm being 100%.
That's so dope.
Because he wrote the chorus.
So we're gonna listen to a little bit of this. We got a snippet of this wonderful song, Love on Fire. Go ahead and play it for us.
Spin it.
First of all, yo, you looking hella fine. Please believe it, need to see if I was blind. Eye candy, extra fancy, you a dime. You like money? Cause you always on my mind. So where we going, trying to take you like vitamins. Got an urge to see food, so I'm diving in. You the main course, never been a side dish. Eat you for dessert, have you tingling like a spidey sense. Super extra thick, I need another helping. 5-star chick, you're rating when I'm yelping. You the truth, girl, ain't no question. Natural selection, so step in my direction. 3 wishes, tell me what you desire. Ooh, yeah, you know I can't deny ya. Dial get you hot like fire. When your love is on fire, we make the block hot every time that we touch the spot. What's your desire? Tell me what you see, girl. Tell me what you see. Just you and me. Just you and I. And every time you'll be hot like fire. It's on fire. Taking you higher. Yo, I got a passion for hip hop and living life. DJ plus graffiti and rockin' mics. Straight breaking like b-boys up on the dance floor. We get it poppin', it's part of culture we stand for. I met a woman who seemed to share the same interest. She's hella cool and super fly, I must admit now. Don't get it twisted, I always have been a man. More flyer than Peter Pan and killing shows with my band. I'm more Liam Phelps than maybe the ladies' man. More likely to hold her head instead of holding her hand. But this girl was different, I loved her, she was amazing. Until the day she hit me with that ultimatum. Yeah, she tried to hit me with that pity pack. Talking that shit behind my back, tripping on petty crap. Now here is something you can't understand. All I did was follow a girl on Instagram. We make the block hot every time that
Fire. Man, that's hot, man. Let's keep it spinning though. Let's hear that by design, man.
By design, the powers that be have starved the souls and minds of the people, tightly stitched chaos into the fabric of our being. Here on planet Earth, we're on high alert as sea levels rise. Can't tell one season from the other, and the birds are confused in the sky, so they land to enjoy record highs in December, 'cause they see we're getting nearer to the brink. Normalized dystopic reality. Stevie told us in '76 when he described village ghetto land to a T. Now 1% of folks got the rest of us dangling from a string. Can't find our focus, 'cause too much is happening all at once. The air is toxic, but we have to keep breathing, believing we can purge purgatory from our bones and return it back to cinder. This hell is not ours to own. This hell is not ours to own. This hell is not ours to own.
Yeah, we want to shout out Shiraz Gorman for doing that piece at the beginning. That was awesome.
Yes. Dope,
dropping jewels.
This hell is not ours to own.
Y'all better get my peoples out.
Yes, for sure. You know how to get to it.
Bang.
Shout out Shiraz Gorman, man. She did a beautiful thing. She laid a beautiful piece on 2 tracks.
Oh wow.
You know, so she's on By Design, of course, but she's also on Perfect Hell
Lord.
along with Jason Nelson. But yeah, Shiraz, man, thank you so much for blessing us. She's dope. Y'all make sure you check her out. She got her own podcast and everything as well. But Shiraz Gorman, great poet.
Shout out
That's
Shiraz.
wonderful. So tell us when and where is this release party, and how do our listeners get tickets?
Do they want the story? You want the backstory?
We don't have a new date for the release party. It got canceled because all the clubs made that vaccine mandate where now you have to have at least one shot of either one of them, Pfizer, Moderna, or the Johnson Johnson, or you have to be able to show them a negative test within 48 hours of the show. I don't think the venue had all their employees tested and vaccinated. And I understand why they're doing it, because they want to protect themselves from being sued. And that makes sense. It just kind of threw a wrench in.
And ensure the safety of others.
It threw a wrench in our show, but I understand they wanted to do it, but we didn't want to be the guinea pig.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because who's gonna take the blame when half the people don't show up? You know, like I was saying, if you can let us promote that everybody needs their shot, or they need a card saying that they took the test, then let us promote that for a couple months. So, you know what I mean? But a few days off, we are gonna lose.
Yeah, you can face that.
You know, or you could have pushed it back to the Monday after our show.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? For me, that's selfish, but you could have pushed it back 4 days and let us have our show. You know what I'm saying? So when we get a new date, we'll let you guys know. I'm hoping it's soon, but for sure what you want to check out is September 11th. We're opening for the Jizza.
Oh,
Yeah, on 9/11 over from
Jizza.
Shout out
from
to
Wu-Tang Clan.
Shout out to Jizza.
At the big top down here on 3401 Washington Avenue.
Okay.
It's
All right.
with Music at the Intersection Festival.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll
Wu-Tang,
be opening for Jizza from the Wu-Tang Clan, and that's our next show.
And we play at 7:45.
Yeah, you can hear some of the new songs from the album. But as soon as we get the new date, we'll shoot it over to y'all.
Please,
That'll be
man.
good.
We're gonna
That would
let
be
you
good.
know. It's not canceled for good. It's just been postponed.
Gotcha.
Further notice,
Gotcha.
y'all.
Gotcha.
Keyword.
Postpone. Let me hold up.
Until then,
That's right.
download the album,
That's right.
stream the album, listen to the album.
That's right.
Okay.
Share it.
The album.
So
it looks
when you
just like
come-
this. You don't even have to know Spanish. There's actually almost no Spanish songs with Spanish on them, but
And this
it looks
says
just like that.
this says Midwest Avengers in
Okay.
Spanish. That's what this logo says. It said Midwest Avengers in Spanish.
That's
So
all that is.
that's exactly what it is.
And that way, when you listen and stream the music, you can come to the show
And know what you
sing along.
said.
Exactly.
right.
Know what
And
to
this is
expect.
the age of technology. Use your translator app on your phone.
There you go. There you go.
Right.
Yeah, shout out to MJ Rodriguez, man. She did a whole lot of interludes between these songs on the project.
Man,
You'll
it
hear
sounds great.
you know what I'm saying, explanations of where we come from, community, and you'll also find out the members of the crew and those Avengers who passed away. Because you know, once an Avenger, always an Avenger. You know what I'm saying? So all the fallen Avengers are still with us.
So would you say that's what keep y'all doing this, man?
Every day.
The fallen
day.
soldiers.
Every day.
Yeah, that and just the natural drive. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? This is what we live. It's us. It's-
Mhm.
I mean, I work a 9 to 5. I
Right, right.
started 8. Why they say that 9 to 5? It started 8.
Started
But
eight.
anyway,
They signed
18
up for
hours,
this?
dog.
right. I consider that my part time.
Yes, sir.
Full-time headache, part-time job. But this stuff that we do is every day.
It's a way of life.
Life, right? I was about to say that.
Like people be like, "How y'all do hip hop?" Or how's the hip hop? I'm like, it's life. I mean, you don't think about it. It's just who you are and what you do. You know, that's the good thing about the internet and technology now. It's like when I was coming up in the 80s, if you wasn't owned by 21, you was washed up in the rap world.
Isn't that crazy?
Now you can be
It's lifespan.
75, 80. If it's hot and people like it and they buying it, it don't matter how old you are now or how young you are now. So, you know, it's like, what's that dude's name? Like 51 Savage? 52 Savage? I'm just saying, but like he went viral and was selling some, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to them boys out the West Coast because they know for their OGs still doing
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So that's the beauty of
Find your
it.
target audience and keep going.
That's
Now.
real, but back to your question is at this point, it's just a way of life.
That's real, man.
You know what I mean? Like practice every Tuesday is just one of the things I do every week. Like my son take a bath on Sundays.
It's
at
like church. It's
9
like my
o'clock
church.
and Wednesdays or whatever.
That's
You know
life,
what I'm
man.
saying?
It's like my
So
church.
it is like church. So
Like
it's just a way of life
That's
at
real.
this point,
That's
and I don't see it stopping until our youngest member decides to quit. I mean, really, the way, you know, it's designed to last forever. You know, our members are interchangeable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Still
I'm the oldest, longest running member, but I'm not going to be doing it in another 20 years. Hopefully my son will be old enough to get in and
Feel
come
them
up
shoes.
under his uncles
Feel them
and
big
his
shoes.
aunties, you know what I mean?
That's right. Feel
And
them
plus, like I
shoes.
said, our youngest member's what,
28, 27?
27. He just turned 27. So
My son already said he's a baby Avenger.
Well,
He
there
said
you
he's
go.
a little
There we
Midwest
go.
Avenger.
Still growing.
He got
still
so
going.
happy.
it's kind of like Menudo. Y'all remember Menudo? Menudo's still around. People just don't know it. But the reason being is they just keep putting more people in the group. Every time one of the older people age out, they just get a new member of Menudo. Menudo been around like 40 years now.
Yeah.
So that's what the plan for Midwest Avengers is to, you know, keep growing and going and have that legacy forever. I mean,
But also another thing that keeps us going is Midwest Avengers, like you said, isn't just a band, we're a crew, but also beyond the crew, we also do events and also continue to bridge this hip hop gap with those who don't know.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what
a
I mean?
movement.
Yeah, it's definitely a movement.
Gotcha.
So you're gonna find Midwest Avengers
Yes, sir.
doing hip hop nights.
Yes, sir.
You'll see Midwest Avengers doing festivals.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
we're gonna
Everywhere.
still always be ingrained in this hip hop.
Yeah.
Whether it's hip hop or rock, Midwest Avengers is always gonna have our hands in it.
That's
doing
right.
something.
That's right, man.
Or rave stuff too.
Yeah.
People always forget about that. We got a
don't
rave
get the
back.
rave. Yeah, them boys be turning.
Party.
Oh
I
yeah.
want to go more.
Oh
Switching
yeah.
gears a little bit.
No.
I love comics. Okay, I'm a comic person, and KP grew up with the comics. So, if you were a Marvel Avenger, since you guys call yourself Midwest Avengers, what person would you align yourself with?
Black Widow.
Oh,
You the Black Widow?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
okay.
it.
Court, what about you, Zoe?
Man, that's a tough question right there.
Toughy, ain't it?
Man, if I had to choose, I don't want to sound cliche.
You sound like you. If you saying it's not
I
cliche.
mean, I would say I would be Black Panther, honestly.
There you go.
That's
All right, damn right. Vibranium only is sticks.
Vibranium. You know?
Yeah, I would be Black Panther.
Why not?
I say I had to be Miles Morales.
Miles
Morales.
Morales. Yeah.
I'll be Miles Morales. If you don't know, that's Spider-Man.
That's right.
Right. Okay.
All right.
So,
I think I would go with Molecule Man. His name is Owen Reese. A lot of people don't know him, but he literally controls every molecule in the universe around him. So he can make
Molecularized.
Right on.
That's what I
can
see that.
That's what I would go with.
Thanos.
Yeah, I mean, like Thanos is kind of just like a little kid compared to that guy.
Wow.
He just lives in his apartment with his wife and just makes food out of tables and turns the apple core back into the table again.
Wow. That's so dope, man.
They only call him out when they really, really need him. So
Right. Man, so
I'm a
what's
Libra, so
what's on y'all bucket list, man?
Yeah, what's on the bucket list?
What haven't y'all done that y'all want?
Lollapalooza.
Okay.
we've actually
I can
done
see
one.
that
That's
one.
a good
That can happen.
Yeah,
That's
That's
good.
doable.
Yeah.
Well, that's a
doable.
good one. It'd be good to go back. It'd be good to go back and play Lollapalooza again.
Who's the biggest festival I can think of right now?
Oh, man, what bucket list?
Bucket list.
For me, it'd be an international tour.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm not talking about just
World.
Europe. I'm not talking about just Asia. I'm trying to go to Africa.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
man.
go to South America.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm
Colombia.
saying? I'm trying to hit everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's real.
That's what I want to do.
Put it on the
Pin
vision
the
board.
board.
Very good.
What about you,
What
big
about
bro?
you, John?
Man, I want something to last like forever. So a statue or something.
Wow.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like maybe a statue in U City or on the South Side.
Yeah.
Like, the Midwest Avengers symbol saying,
Wow.
born and raised in
Yeah.
St. Louis,
Tell
Missouri.
the whole placard,
There
like
you go.
tell the story.
Like a
They do it for lesser people.
Established in
Yeah,
1992.
Right.
yeah.
There you
Like,
go.
like
Yeah.
Charles Martin, they had the little write up and stuff.
Yeah, stuff like that. Some that like my great grandkids can walk by and see and say that's us.
Yeah.
I
You know
love
what
it.
I'm
Definitely
saying?
need
I
a
love
store on the loop.
You know,
Yeah,
something like that.
definitely.
Something that lasts forever.
In U
Yeah.
City, yeah, definitely a star in U City.
What way
Yeah,
can we
that's good.
potentially get that, man?
Yeah, how can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Let's make it happen, y'all.
Well,
Let's make it happen.
to be honest, yo, I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to say it because I don't want other people to think they can get one too.
Yeah.
That's what I was heading towards.
Right.
So please believe I already sussed it all out.
Easily. I mean,
I'm not big on giving out my secrets to other people, so that's why I didn't say.
Element of
Put two and two together. I'm from the city.
you gotta pay your dues.
We came up in the Loop.
Yeah.
We walk across those stars every day of our
Every
life.
day.
So please believe that's always
Every
been
day.
in
Wonderful.
process.
Especially with the
That's
kind
right.
of impact that we've had.
Yeah, yeah,
for
I
all
have.
these
Yeah,
years. Like,
yeah.
we never fell off.
Yeah.
We never fell off.
Never.
ever.
It
took
ain't
a
gonna
break.
happen.
Yeah.
Y'all hear
And
that?
created platforms for other artists.
That's right.
And continues to do that.
Yep,
Man, y'all kept doing
Slumfest is one
Yeah.
of our events and festivals that we do.
Yeah.
Fresh is one of our events and
Yes.
festivals. Paint Louis.
Yeah, I was just
Rock
gonna
You
ask you
Fest.
about Paint Louis.
Yeah.
Slum Fest, all that.
So,
yeah.
I was gonna ask you, John, what role did you play in Paint? In the Paint?
I was one of the original members of Paint Louis.
Okay.
Back in the day, if y'all familiar with St. Louis in the late 80s, early 90s, there was really nowhere for us to go. I don't know if y'all remember a couple years ago too, they was chasing kids all over the city. They go to Loop, chasing the Galleria, chasing the downtown, chasing the West End, you know, they're chasing the kids all around. So that's kind of what they was doing for us when we was younger in the loop in the 80s, like 85, 86 to like, you know, 89, I guess, 90.
Where he got beat up by the police, skateboard in the loop.
Yeah, I mean, we was wilding. I ain't gonna lie, we was out there wilding. But the cops kept chasing us off, and the only place you could go where the cops didn't mess with you was that wall down there, the flood wall down the riverfront. Army Corps engineers built that after the flood of '93 to keep downtown from flooding again.
Right.
So we realized that we can turn our cars on and blast music and get bums to buy us liquor and smoke out, party down there all night. When the sun go down, we just turn the lights on. Y'all started that riverfront. You know, we did. Nobody was down there before us. And you know, like I said, back in the day when I grew up, it was about crews. So I don't know if y'all remember, but early in the day, you had to be able to do everything: beatbox, break dance, DJ, MC, graffiti. All the elements. Like you had to be able to do everything. Like, you couldn't do everything. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm talking about hardcore, like 85 to like 90. If you didn't know how to do something, you had to have like a little brother that could beatbox, or a cousin that carried a cardboard, so y'all could break dance. You know what I mean? So it was just, you know, everybody was congregating down the wall, and we just started painting. And it was just we just always called it the graffiti jam, or meet us at the wall or whatever. And then one year we was brainstorming. My man DJ Solo, West Albany, rest in peace. He from Shrewd Marketing. He had just got the brand new Midnight Marauders CD record, Tribe Called Quest. And he was like, "Yeah, what do you think about Paint Lewis?" He's like, "Yeah, Paint Lewis, that's dope. Let's do that." And so the name just stuck. You know, it became Paint Lewis, and then officially in '98, that's when we got our first real sponsors, which was a little known company called Starbucks. Was our first sponsor. Also Tribal Gear. Remember him?
I do.
Jinko
Starbucks
jeans.
out of Seattle.
Wow. Yeah, do you remember Jinko jeans? Jinko jeans and all that. And then our big claim to fame was Big Pun and Fat Joe came down because Pun was on tour for his album. You know, Joey Crack. Yeah, he paint crack. He an old graffiti artist from New York. So they came down, and the event just blew up from there. 300 artists showed up, bombed the city. It was $2 million and property damage. You know, I had to go around and
I was protesting.
I had to go around and wash off buildings and pay a bunch of fines. And so, I mean, we're going on our 23rd official year, but we've been doing it for almost 28 years. Yeah, that's real. You know what I mean? So the best thing about it, I think, is that it's got the Guinness Book of World Record longest mural in the world. Nobody's been able to beat it for like, shoot, we've had it since 90 years. We've been had it since 99 or 2000. Nobody's been able to beat it. They came close, and then they knocked the Berlin Wall down. So we got lucky they knocked it. Well, other people got lucky they knocked the Berlin Wall down. But we now have the longest mural in the world here in St. Louis, and it's sad because it's known more around the world than it is in St. Louis because it's an international event. We got artists from Germany, we got artists from Japan, we got artists from Australia flying, we got artists from London, Europe, Mexico. It's worldwide, and it's right here in St. Louis.
Worldwide,
you know.
A big respect to that.
Yeah, we had
Definitely
Tibetan
come out
monks
and
come
support.
down. So
yeah, man.
It's just a legacy. It's another legacy for the city of St. Louis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It truly
is also a good opportunity to showcase more St. Louis hip hop. I mean, it's not just graffiti, which is the main point of the reason why we're there, but it's also got MCing, it's got DJing,
the culture,
you got
the real
dancing.
culture.
Oh yeah, for sure. B-boy, all styles. You know what I'm saying? So like, make sure y'all come out. You know, September 3rd, 4th, and 5th of this year, Labor Day weekend, 2021. Flood Wall, make sure you rock with us, man. It's going down.
Flood Wall,
man. Come on down and support this event.
It's outside as well.
Yeah, so you don't need anything.
4 elements of hip hop.
Man, you gotta have it, man. The Midwest Avengers, man. I just really want to thank y'all. It's been an honor. Thank y'all for joining us today, man. To our viewers out there, please be sure to tune in Thursday, August the 26th, when we talk STEM and entrepreneurship with Miss Kelly Price, the CEO of STEM Memphis and Memphis Entrepreneur Academy. We go live at 6:30 p.m. That is Central Time.
That's right. Again, we thank our wonderful guests for coming on the show today. Definitely hit them up on all streaming platforms. Definitely do that, please, y'all. This is a wonderful crew. Headbanger Hip Hop. You can't. It don't get no better than that, y'all. Check out the audio versions of the podcast. We are found on patreon.com/Did We Make Ourselves Clear. Also support, that's a way to support our crew that we have here working with us, as well as thumbs up our Facebook page and like us on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for coming, and thank y'all so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank y'all.
Ourselves clear.
That's
I know
right.
the Lord ain't brought us this far just to drop us off here. What you say?
Did we
Make ourselves clear.
That's right.
Clear.
Thank y'all.